We're changing out a power transformer on a American DJ Comscan LED. Your transformer is going to be in the main wider part of this upper housing from the projector side. We're going to go ahead and take these two covers off first so I can get to my other access screws to remove the panels. Go ahead and remove some of your secondary screws to access the upper housing area. You may end up having to use a shorter screwdriver to get into some of these in between here because you've got such a small space. Panels will pop off. I'm going to remove, there's a center screw here. Back it out and you can remove this main cover plate. Just gives you more room to work. Two little side decals plates. Alright, now I'm going to need to remove both the long panels. Gives me more room to get down in here and remove some of these screws. So we're going to take off the covers from the back as well. Maybe not all of the covers, but just enough to access this long panel here. Same for the opposite side. Small trim piece came out. It can be reinstalled later. Okay, so now we've got the back here where we can completely access everything, the transformer and all, the power transformer, which is on this side. There's 4 screws that hold in the housing of the power transformer. You need to remove those. Get a smaller screwdriver for this. so close to this housing it's hard to get a regular screwdriver in there. Seems a little tough. It's tight, I guess it'll still fit. And there are two more secondary screws on the bottom here. And then you can remove the transformer securing bracket. There's some zip ties you're going to have to cut, locate them and cut them accordingly. Rotate to the other side. And there's a we cut these apart so you can see it easier, and there's a zip tie here to cut as well. Give you some light. Coming through the back, you're going to see this red and white wire. Those are the ones that go to the main transformer, power converter. And it's just a pin terminal. Try to make it out so you can see it down in here, and you tilt it up. Just a 2-pin terminal plug. You just extract it. Had a little catch on it. You had to depress that tab, but mine came out. Now we'll back feed it through the bottom. Have to watch as you're pulling it out here. There's not much room on this side. Might be able to barely squeeze it out. There we go. I'm going to leave these parts connected for a moment. These two wires, I'm going to leave them connected just for a minute. And then I'm going to backfeed the other part before I swap them out. Let's go ahead and take our new one. Feed the wires through in the same location. I'm going to get some small needle nose to pull that wire through. Have a tight spot, so I need the extra long needle nose to get up in there. Go ahead and reconnect the terminal. going to place everything back the way I found it originally. Put the transformer bracket screws back in. Install my upper two. You may have to squeeze the bracket a little to get it to realign with your screw holes. Now that I got the bracket on, we'll go ahead and flip it back over and zip tie basically the red wires back together in this area. Make sure you tuck them nice and tight so they'll all stay in there and fit. Make sure you didn't unplug any terminals doing all this work. Cut your excess, zip tie off. And while we got it on this side, since I've done on this side, I'm going to go ahead and start throwing a part back in. Put my little metal piece back in the housing. Now we're back on this side. We're going to redo these. We're going to connect these wires in. I'm going to check which wire. The wire usually has either it's smooth or it could be labeled or marked, but you got to find your identifying factors on your wires and just make sure you match them up with what you remove. Break open these press nuts. Trying to salvage the nut, try not to waste anything. install the last one. I'm pressing this nut in the opposite way that it's been compressed to open it up to allow it to extract. We got to work on routing our wires around. We're going to zip tie them all together again. You got to make sure. I'm gonna put another zip tie on them because I just got to make sure that they're out of the way of this rotating wheel that changes the colors and the shapes and what it displays. It looks like it's gonna be right in the way. Let's try adjusting this. Just making sure no matter what that all the wires are not going to interfere with the rotation of the wheel or get in the way of the LED light itself. Everything appears to be okay. Tuck some of our wires back in. And we can put the cover back on this side. Make sure your little small metal plate doesn't pop out here. Replacing the back screw in this housing. I don't want to spin it around and move it too much. I'm afraid it'll come apart on me. Put my decal bracket section back in. Drop the side panel on it. I'm using a shorter screwdriver again to get in here on the inside. Different route. Opposite side, go ahead and drop our decal in again, right in the groove. Top or side panel in. Bottom screws here in the interior where the light spins at. Standing up would be too high for you to see. Now put this cover plate back on. It just slides straight in through the front. And it's got a different style securing screw. It's not the wood threads. Probably won't be able to see it, but it'll fit in my hand like that. And now it's time to put our regular cover back on. Side cover, the decorative covers, I guess you might call them. Alright, so there's no on-off switch. All we do is just plug the cable in. And before it wouldn't rotate or do anything when it was energized. We're going to go ahead and start it up now and just see if we get any results out of it. Looks like it's trying to calibrate. And I've got it upside down just so you can see the lights, or I guess I could point it down. Still going to do the same thing. But switching colors, rotating, moving all around. Looks like the audio part's working because it's going crazy the more I talk. Alright, that's it on the Comscan LED from American DJ.